what I hate? People say, oh, when the granny said,
or in that sense,
Space Jam 2, old ladies always gotta check her Twitter, is, oh, too modern and too unlike Looney Tunes. The fuck you mean? They've always followed trends. Like, I can mention how, World War II, they always talk about Hitler. But I'll not talk about it. In the 90s trends, 80s trends, 80s trends, 90s trends, 2000 trends. So why is it bad when it's the modern day? Oh, it was fine when we were kids, but now kids are growing up on the shit we grew up on. It's not right. How? Why are people such hypocrites? I agree with it, but they're kind of hypocritical, aren't they?
he was so... a guy. The plane flips the dinosaur, and that sends it crash landing in the jungle in a very violent manner, but that's okay. Nobody appears to be injured in the least bit. Turns out the plane is still high up in the trees, the perfect height for the returning Spinosaurus, who proceeds to tear off the front of the plane. Or maybe it just falls off. I can't tell, this movie's cheap. The Spinosaurus then attacks them by sticking his big Spino face in the plane and grabbing Nash by the leg. He rips the mercenary out and drops him to the jungle floor, then kills him pretty quickly with a just off-screen head bite that probably took it clean off. The fuselage falls from the foliage and crashes into the ground, then gets kicked by the giant dinosaur and rolls until it hits a tree. Still no injuries to these people? What the hell? The Spinosaurus messes with them a bunch and tears into the hull of the plane, but while it's busy fishing between the seats for those complimentary packs of peanuts, everyone makes a getaway. Now, you may be like, Spino what? Who the hell is this fin-backed fucker? That's hashtag not my dinosaur. For everyone saying that, don't worry. In no time at all, the humans run into the classic T-Rex, and yet another dinosaur chase scene begins. Then we see what it's like when dinos collide, because the T-Rex and Spinosaurus get into a dino fight! Yeah! With the Tyrannosaurus Rex as the indisputable fan favorite, you might expect him to win the match easily. But JP3 is trying to put the Spinosaurus over, so the newcomer snaps into the Rex's neck and puts him down with a nasty snap, solidifying its role as the top heel in the film.
I loved it. But you know what I hate?
And roaring out a challenge.
What ifs, and they're usually just what if another dinosaur was in another movie. You don't see Marvel what ifs like what if this hero was in that movie. So do what ifs like what if the Spino lost? What if the Spino didn't fight the T-Rex? What if even knowing how strange Jurassic versus they worked together? Like this scene has millions of what ifs you could do. Like they both look at Grant. What if they both decide to work together to hunt Grant? Because they both hate him. There's so much they could have done. Not the movie could do, I mean the fans could do with the scene. Just saying, if you're gonna make Jurassic What Ifs, don't just change the dinosaurs. Do stuff, you know what I mean?
Come at me, motherfuckers! Spino's in the house! The Kirbys come clean to Grant and admit that they're a divorced couple who are looking for their son Eric, the kid from the parasailing incident in the beginning. The other guy who was with Eric was Ben Hildebrand, Amanda's current boyfriend. So what, that Eric kid went on a tropical vacation with just his mom's boyfriend? What the hell's going on here? Eric and Ben have been missing for 8 weeks, so Grant is like, dude, your son is dino done by now. I'm getting the hell out of here. As they all make their way through the jungle, more truth comes out about the Kirbys. They're not really adventurers, and they ain't even rich. Paul Kirby just owns a hardware store, so that science money he promised Grant and Billy ain't ever gonna happen. Sorry boys, but that's what you get for trusting the guy who looks like Bill Macy to be a billionaire. The group comes across the dinosaur parasail hanging from a tree and find Ben and Eric's camcorder on the ground nearby. The tape inside
honestly, lots of people hate them, and I know they were bad people, but I don't hate them.
shows the Kirbys the boat crash, as well as confirmation that Eric at least survived the parasail crash landing. Great for him, but when Grant and Billy go to get the parasail down, we find out that Ben wasn't so lucky, since his strung-up skeleton swings down and smacks Mrs. Kirby in the face. I knew you liked him on the thinner side, Amanda, but this guy needs to get more meat on them bones. Don't worry, though. Amanda tells Paul that she's too worried about their missing son to give a single rat's ass about her dead boyfriend.
It's not Ben, Paul.
Wait, so...
It's Eric.
Yeah, but can it be both? Or was that relationship just one of those rebound things? Then they find a nest. The Velociraptor.
I think, honestly, afterwards, they could get back together. But you know what's weird? Eric... You know what's weird, though? He and Laura... what's it called again? What's up, Ben? Oh yeah, everyone blames her for screaming overreactively, but if you saw your girlfriend or boyfriend, or maybe you're a man and you like a boyfriend, maybe you're a girl and you like a girlfriend, it doesn't matter. If you saw your partner dead, their skeleton decomposing in front of you, you're telling me you wouldn't scream or act a little bit frightened? It's like how I said I wasn't a big fan of SpongeBob screaming. James said to me, if you saw your neighbor be bludgeoned to death, you're telling me you wouldn't scream in fear? You would. It's fucked up and it's fucking scary. You know what I mean?
Raptor eggs. Oh, scratch that. A whole bunch of nests of velociraptor eggs. They get out of there in a hurry, but Billy trails behind a bit, telling Grant he was just taking pictures of the nest. But, spoiler alert, Billy's a fucking liar. Through the trees, they find an old InGen structure, but not the same one from the Lost World, even though this takes place on the same island. God forbid we get that level of continuity. They enter the building and start doing some urban exploring, not
is on the south part. This is on the north, and the other was on the south. Or was that one on the south and this on the north? I can't really remember.
Noticing the dinosaurs running around in the background. We get some classic Macy emasculation after Billy breaks open a vending machine for some surely expired food, because Paul Kirby tries to follow suit only to hurt his foot in the attempt. At least he ain't getting cucked like your character in Boogie Nights, dude. Next up on the tour is a dino birthing center, complete with a bunch of velocifetuses and test tubes and a scene ripped straight from Aliens. But hold on just a minute, that last raptor's not a fetus, it's full grown, and it's playing a goddamn trick on them because it's alive! The velocifeathered raptor, with its new Charlie Brown hair, chases after the group and pushes at the door they're behind in a strangely human way. Amanda and Billy get away by trapping the raptor menace behind the door, but eventually it gets free and chases them all outside, stopping on the stoop to tell all his homies, "Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys!" The 5 humans escape into a herd of hadrosaurs, which include the heel-headed Parasaurolophus and the crest-crowned Corythosaurus. Seems like a great way to get trampled to me, but the plan works for the most part and everyone makes it into the trees, except Udesky, who runs into an off-screen raptor and is later seen trying to crawl away from them and not getting very far. The Kirbys wind up seeing Udesky from a tree and notice that he's still alive since he's moving at least a little bit. Amanda goes out to get him, but get this, apparently Udesky was left alive by the raptors as part of a trap, and they almost snap up Amanda when she nearly falls out of the tree. Billy and Paul get her back up on the branch and the raptors honk some words at each other. They leave the clearing in a huff, making sure to finish the job and actually kill Udesky before they go. If they can't have him, no one can. Turns out the raptors were shouting,
seriously though, that's just so weird that the raptors were able to pull a trap like that. It's kinda a bit far-fetched to say.
"Yo, we got Alan Grant in the house!" And they surround him, getting ready to have a good Sam meal. But then a bunch of smoke grenades land around them like they're on DE Isla Sorna, and they run away. Grant is rescued by a little Venonat-looking jungle lad who leads him away through the trees. The kid is Eric Kirby, of course, and Grant tells him that his parents are on the island.
Together.
Yeah, kid, your elaborate parent trap worked. Just kidding. Eric hasn't been parent trapping. He's been fucking surviving. Feasting on, what is that, dog food? And keeping smaller predators, like these cute little compies, away from the truck he's been living in by using T-Rex pee as a deterrent.
How'd you get it?
You don't want to know.
Actually, yeah, I kinda do, kid, because it seems like something impossible to do. But fuck it, let's just have a pee joke, I guess. Who cares? While Grant gets to know their kid better, the Kirbys have a boring-ass scene where they talk about how different they are.
You drive 5 miles under the speed limit, Paul, and I've totaled 3 cars in 3 years.
Looks like their island time is bringing them back together, but honestly, who cares? These characters suck! The next day...
I kinda liked Dival. The moment was pretty cute, and that's why I gave it a 8 out of 10.
Grant and Eric spot a boat that they figure would be mighty useful in getting off the island. On their way down to it, Billy stops in his tracks when he hears a generic cell phone ring.
That's my dad's satellite phone.
Yep, apparently in this movie, that's the jingle for his dad's store.
Kirby, Peyton Tire Plus, Westgate.
So Eric runs off into the woods screaming for his parents. They hear him yelling and run out of the jungle, so look, great, we got a real nice Kirby family reunion going on. But when Eric says that he followed his dad's phone ring to find them, Paul says that the last time he saw the satellite phone was when he gave it to Nash on the plane. And you know what happened to Nash. Now, just in case you thought you were seeing stuff, I'm here to reassure you that yes, you just saw a dinosaur jingle from its belly. I actually don't hate that gag, it's pretty funny. The Spinosaurus chases Grant and Eric along
it's not a gag, I mean, it's a whole character.
The fence until they're...
We need to talk about it. The Spinosaurus didn't eat him, but how does that have a bone in his belly? And, also, question, wouldn't the Spinosaurus be slowly dying? Also, then in the At the end of the movie, he poops out, three poops, and then, in one of them, is the phone. This fucking Nokia phone survived being shitted out. I mean, I'm sorry, but can I eat this phone, shit it out, and it'll be perfect? No, you're kind of losing contestants, sir. The new Pinfley iPhone to own should be, it can be shitted out. Seriously, I'm just saying. If you tell me I can share my phone and it'll be safe, I will have a lot of fun with that.
Able to find a gap and get through it. The Spinosaurus doesn't let that stop him though, and simply busts through the giant fence that was specifically built to keep him out. And yet, when the humans reach this nearby building and lock the doors on him, that's enough to turn him away.
Wood, I want you to know, this is fucking wood. Or maybe really rusty metal?
Hey, yo, JP3, you making my brain hurt! Now that they have a minute to breathe, Grant discovers something rotten. A pair of eggs inside Billy's lucky pack. Hey, this guy's stealing eggs! He an egg thief! Billy took the eggs so they could sell them and fund the dig site, since Paul Kirby's a fucking deadbeat. But Grant is still straight pissed at him. Instead of getting rid of them though, Grant decides to hold on to the eggs so they can negotiate a peace with the raptors later.
What if they catch us with them? What if they catch us without them?
What? Is this like an in utero hostage situation now? They head down some stairs to get to the boat Grant and...
Also, I'm just gonna say it here. I'm gonna say it here. The raptors literally had 10,000 eggs. Why do they care so much that one is gone? I know you could say for the raptors POV, well, it's 5 humans, why do they care that one's gone? But, I mean, let's be honest here, aminal eggs go missing every day. That's why aminals have so many eggs. Raptors, in the actual paleontology, were survivors. They would have never done this. They're not gonna hunt you, they're not gonna kill your friend. They're gonna see their eggs are gone and be like, thank God it wasn't me, thank God it wasn't all my kids. Like, they're just gonna decide, fuck it, I'm not dead, I'm okay. Now, I'm not sure if that's actually how it works, I'm not paleontology, but I really don't think a raptor's gonna chase me down if I take 2 of its eggs. I really don't think so.
and Eric saw, and we actually get a halfway decent sequence down here, because Grant realizes that they're inside a giant bird cage, and don't look now, but there's something in the mist, and that something is a pteranodon. Yeah, it ain't technically a dinosaur, but it's still pretty scary when it snatches Eric like a wig and flies away with him. It drops Eric off to be baby food for its tyrannokids, and the infant pterosaurs chase Eric across a bunch of rock spires, like he's in a level of Turok Dinosaur Hunter. Billy realizes
what the fuck is he in? That Jedi game?
He's got to redeem himself for being the ovary burglar, so he leaps off a platform and unfurls the dinosaur glider, then skillfully maneuvers that bad boy around until he's able to pick up Eric in an evac. A flock of pteranodons fly at them, and their glider gets grazed, so Billy has Eric drop down into the river, then rides the rest of it out, right into a wall. Meanwhile, everyone else is getting attacked by that first pteranodon, I think, who winds up breaking all the platforms into place and trapping itself underwater with a piece that breaks off. After Billy finally frees himself from the parasail harness, he's attacked by the pterosaurs in the water. Grant watches helplessly as Billy floats down the river, getting pecked at by a pair of pteranodons. As a third one looks back like, yo, you want some of this too, bitch? Grant does not.
Yeah, I'll have to be a make.
So he leaves. The 4 remaining humans make it outside of the birdcage, leaving the pterosaurs behind. They finally get on that boat and ride it down the river, searching for the Colonel Kurtzosaurus. But instead, they find a bunch of herbivores in a repeat of the classic scene from the original movie, epic music and all. Yeah, maybe quit reminding me of that vastly superior movie, JP3. You're making me want to turn this off and go watch it instead. Night comes and they hear the satellite phone ringing again, but it's not inside the Spinosaurus anymore. By now, it's been evacuated into one of these big steaming piles of shit. They find the phone, and Grant bravely puts it up to his ear, only to hear some kind of useless automated message. Then we get a totally wasted cameo by a Ceratosaurus, who comes by to take one sniff at them and then peace out. No point to it at all, except to make a shit joke, I guess. Piss and shit jokes, ladies and gents. That's Jurassic Park 3 for you. Later on...
Oh, the actual reason, like, I know we don't like to take a relays, but let's say you guys saw like shit and walk away, but it's actually because, you know, it's the Spinosaurus' sentence, like, he ain't about that life. He ain't gonna run this phase with Spino, so he's deciding, you know, fuck it, run as fast as he can. Well, or she, I'm not sure.
And after it starts raining, Grant decides to use the satellite phone's last bit of battery supply.
Also, like, I'm sorry, but Alan Grant, you gotta wash out your ear next time, because that might cause an ear infection from feces directly in your ear. Like, ugh, you could have just washed it. Ew! Ew!
Try to call Ellie for help, but little Charlie answers the phone instead, and Grant has to convince him to go find his mommy. While he does that, the movie references Spielberg's Jaws as the Spinosaurus re-enters the picture, rising up out of the water and sending all the humans inside the boat's safety cage. The Spinosaurus river attack is another really great sequence, helped by how good the dinosaur looks in the rain, but it's intercut with Charlie running around looking for his mom and getting distracted by Barney on the TV, so that kinda sucks. By the time he gets the phone,
I thought that was pretty funny and pretty amazing. In my opinion, I think it's one of the best scenes in the movie. Well, it could be that he's watching Barney. That's fucking hilarious, and actually made me finally feel suspense for a character in a movie. So personally, I like the scene. Hurrah, hurrah. Personally, I like the scene, and that's my opinion. Yes, I do. So it's my opinion. Sorry, I need to stop sinning so we can focus on the video.
phone to Ellie, the Spinosaurus has already bitten into a fuel tank and is pulling the safety cage off the boat. Grant is just
When the swimming scene comes out, I wonder who will do it better, swimming T-Rex or swimming Spino.
barely able to get out that he needs help on Site B before they all go under the surface, and thankfully that's enough for Ellie to understand. The cage sinks underwater, and Paul Kirby, who had mentioned earlier that he was taking swimming lessons, is the only one able to escape before the Spinosaurus pins it down against the bottom of the river. Paul climbs a nearby crane and waves his hands at the Spinosaurus in a stunt that I was surprised to learn was done mostly by Bill Macy himself. Crazy.
So
the distraction
cool.
works long enough for Grant to find a flare gun underwater, resurface, and fire that bad boy straight at the Spinosaurus. The flare ignites all that boat fuel that had spilled out and scares the Spinosaurus half to death. Fire bad! Then the crane that Paul's hanging from falls apart. But wait a minute, steel beams don't melt at that temperature. I think this was an InGen inside job. The Spinosaurus stomps away because he ain't about to stand there and get burnt, and the Kirby family has a wet reunion hug. That's nice. Still sucks for Grant though, who's stuck by himself with these shitty characters. They hear the ocean and figure they're close to the coast, but as they run for the finish line, they're stopped by a whole bunch of velociraptors, who Grant says would have killed them already if it wasn't for them eggs they packing. The humans kneel down in submission to the raptors, and one of them gets all up in Amanda's grill, sniffing her hair a whole bunch. What is that, girl? Not that herbal essence? Grant lets that awkward moment go on a beat too long, then takes out the eggs and hands them over to Amanda, who returns them to the raptors like, here's your unborn babies back. Then Grant takes out his raptor kazoo to have fun, and starts screaming into it, confusing the shit out of these raptors.
No. Call for help.
He's a raptor killer!
With Zoflora's multi-purpose
You know
cleaner,
what's weird?
you can cut through
Alan Grant. It's literally the vocal cords of a raptor. Imagine I was talking to bears and just ripped up bears' vocal cords out and screamed directly in it. I think I would die instantly by the bears if they saw that.
What the fuck? When did Grant learn how to speak raptor? I don't remember that being an option on those Muzzy tapes. The raptors probably didn't even understand Grant through that thick human accent of his. Instead, they're more interested in some
Fucking thick human accent.
distant helicopter sounds. They take off into the jungle, but not before grabbing the eggs back, leaving the humans behind to finish up the shitty movie. They all run out to the beach where there's a David Lynchian shot of a man in a suit standing there by himself. But turns out he's not alone. The Navy and the Marines show up to rescue Grant and the Kirby family. Remember how Ellie's husband works at the State Department? Yeah, it's cause we needed this to happen. Hope the Kirbys plan on paying back us taxpayers. In one more ridiculous coda, we find that Billy survived and is somehow already on the helicopter all bandaged and cared for, even though we heard these choppers landing just a few minutes ago. What the fuck ever. The movie ends with the Kirbys apparently getting back together, Grant putting his hat back on, and a close-up on a Tyranitate as it flies through the sky. The least this movie could do is give us a solid body count, but don't get your hopes up. I'll show you why at the numbers. That sound good to you, buddy? Yeah, that sounds pretty great. Dude, you're a carnotaurus. You're not even in this movie. Yeah, well, fuck you.
Oh, fuck you, dude.
Only 6 people died
Fucking racist.
in Jurassic Park 3, even though they could have killed everyone but Grant and the kid, and I would have been fine with it. The victims, like all JPs so far, were exclusively male, but don't worry, the reign of King Blueberry.
All I want to say is that, if you guys remember, 4 had 5. So even though 3 may be bad, at least had one more kill.
is coming to an end soon. With a svelte runtime of 92 minutes, we had a kill on average every 15.3 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Udesky, cause it's the most on screen. Real nice nasty neck snap there, courtesy of the Trapper Raptor. Dual machete for lamest kill will go to Enrique and his helmsman, who were killed in the beginning by who the fuck knows. And Diamond Dino for coolest dinosaur sequence goes to the Spinosaurus attack on the river. It's the best any dinosaur ever looks in the movie, and it's got a nice little structure to it, complete with a climactic water on fire end. Franchise would lie dormant for over a dozen. A nice little structure to it, complete with a climactic water on fire ending. So thanks for that, JP3. And that's it. Jurassic.
My opinion, golden greatest kill is when the Spino rips up a guy's head. Worst kill is, in my opinion, probably the, probably was the first Spino kill. And, in my opinion, the best dino scene was the fight scene for obvious reasons.
Park 3 came out in 2001, and after this, the franchise would lie dormant for over a dozen years. When it re-emerged in 2015, it was no longer a Jurassic Park, but a Jurassic World. We'll be looking at that pratacular picture next week, but until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been the Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching this week's Kill Count. I want to thank a couple of patrons like Alexander Zirkle, Lynn Klein, and Martin Sandoval. My dinosaur collection continues to grow, and I got a nice little blue for the Kill Count next week. As you're watching this, I'm in San Diego for Comic-Con. If you're in the city or at the convention, let me know and we can meet up. Follow me on Twitter at DeadMeatJames, and I'll announce a time and place for an official meetup there. Alright everyone, be good people.
Well guys, I have to ask you one
For
last
years,
question.
I've been that person who just picks up and...
Before I go, let me ask you one more question. After seeing all of this, do you count Jurassic Park 3 as a horror movie? No. Like most reviews, I see it as a love movie about family and love, and about how this monster with no love in his heart, because he was meant to have a kid, which even if he did have a kid, it would talk more about my parallel. I even talked about how Con Survivor not adding Godzilla made the game better, because the whole game had the theme of family. Con's trying to protect Gia, so he's trying to kill you. Tiamat's trying to protect her daughter, so she's trying to kill you. And Abaddon has all his babies, so he's trying to kill you. Each one of them want to protect their children, like how you want to protect your child. Really proving that these monsters aren't so foreign, are they? They're just like you, and you're just like the monster. You know? Really proving, are you even a good person if the monsters are just like you? Well, it's Jurassic Park, no monster first. Bye-bye, guys. I hope you all like this, and, you can't tell, it's 1 AM, so I'm gonna film them all tomorrow. I'm gonna film the World Trilogy tomorrow.